Hello and welcome to Math Lessons with Linda. Today's topic is factoring, and we will be factoring a trinomial today. So let's take a look at what we've got. X squared plus 3x minus 18. Remember that when you're factoring, what you're trying to do is take your polynomial and split it up into different factors. Factors are things you are multiplying together. So when we do it for a trinomial, unless there's a GCF, which in this case there is no greatest common factor, then what we're going to look for is how can we split this trinomial up into two binomials. That means two terms in each of these. Now, for the trinomials that we are doing today, our a value, which is this coefficient out here, is always going to be 1. Right? So we are doing where a is equal to 1. So that means I just have this 1x squared. And we know from other types of factoring, like the difference of two squares, that we're going to take the square root of this. And one of those factors, x, goes into each of the first parts of our parentheses. Now, the next step is we need to focus on this 18. The 18 is going to tell us, all right, we've got to find pairs that multiply to give us 18. So that means we can write these out. 1 times 18, 2 times 9, and then 3 times 6. Those are the three different factor pairs that give us 18. Now, keep in mind that we want it to be a negative 18. So that means that for these factors over here, one of them has to be positive and one of them is going to have to be negative. So in that case, I can go ahead and put a plus and a minus, one in each of my parentheses. Now, the next thing is when I need to choose between these factor pairs, I am trying to get numbers that are going to subtract to 3. So 18 minus 1, 17. That is not the factor pair we want. 9 minus 2, that's 7. Also not the factor pair we want. But 6 minus 3, that does give us 3. Okay, last question. How do we figure out where the 3 goes and where the 6 goes? Because one of them is going to be a positive and the other one is going to be a negative. So your clue is right here. The sign that comes before this 3x, which is what we're trying to get, if it's a positive, that means that our bigger factor, the 6, has to be the positive factor, and the 3 has to be the negative. Because I already know that x times x gives me this x squared, and I already know that 6 times negative 3 gives me negative 18. But what I really need to test out is the 6 times the x, which would be a positive 6x, and this x times negative 3, which is a negative 3x. And if I add those together, guess what I get? I get my 3x, which is what I wanted. So this is how I can just check myself and make sure that I have the factors right, but I also have the signs right. So my final solution for factoring this trinomial is x plus 6 and x minus 3.